Hello everyone, welcome back to Hacking with Ken. So today we're going to be discussing directory structure in Linux. So basically this is the day 2 in our Linux administration course. So as you can see, I'm not using CentOS for now because I ran into some problems in VirtualBox. So I deleted all of the machines. I will reinstall and then we can continue on CentOS. But today's lecture is about directory structure, so I think I can teach you guys about directory structure on my own Kali Linux. So basically the first thing you need to remember that every Linux have the same directory structure, right? So this is the general directory structure. So basically the directory structure of Linux is like hierarchical. I think it's hierarchical or hierarchical. I don't know, but it's hierarchical. It's like a tree. Basically you start from root and then you go into the branches and then leaves, and the starting point, then you have branches, then you have leaves, and then everything. So it's basically like that. So this is the most organized file system I've ever seen in my life, to be honest, because Windows is not organized. So let's get started. So basically first thing you need to know that the Linux starts at this point slash. Okay, just slash. Linux starts at this point slash. So this is like the starting point, or the we call it the root of the Linux. So as you can say that this is the root of the Linux. This is the starting point. This is like at the beginning. So if I type ls there, we studied the ls command. If not, then ls is for listing files and folders in your current working directory, the directory in which you are present. So if I type ls, it will show me few folders or directories. Now why you need to know about directory structure of Linux? Because if you don't know about directory structure of Linux, you don't know what to do in Linux. Like if I tell you to change the settings of some tool or something like that, what will you do? You don't know where the settings are stored. You don't know where device drivers could be. You don't know where user directories. You don't know where commands are. You don't know everything. So you have to learn directory structure. Other thing you need to know that everything in Linux is a file. uh, if it's your drivers, your device drivers, your hard drives, your settings, everything A to Z is in some file, and you can access that file, but maybe some of them will be on machine language, some of them may be in the language that you won't be able to understand, but they are in a file and you can read that file and you can edit them too. I mean, we can read like all of the stuffs, but understanding is a bit different thing. So we learned two things, that directory structure is hierarchical and you need to learn directory structure so you can navigate yourself into Linux. So then we learned that everything in Linux is a file. Then if I typed ls, we have bunch of directories. Now we're going to study each and every one of them. Now some of them may make sense to you, some of them may not. So let's start with the bin directory, or what we call it the command directory. This is where your commands are stored. Okay, you didn't get it? Okay, it's all right. You know how we typed ls and cd commands, right? Ls, cd, we typed I think pwd and ifconfig and something like that. Let's say you type commands. Where do they come from? Where do they live? How this terminal know where to pick up these commands, and how to perform this special type of functionality? Like ls perform different functionality, cd perform different. Like there has to be some kind of script for these programs to tell them what to do. There is a folder where these binaries, these executables, these commands are stored. Okay, if I go into the bin by cd bin, if I type ls, there you can see all of the commands are there. Okay, you have mount command, you have like we have ls2 here, but it will be really hard to find somehow. So let's go on to the top. and let's find ls. Okay, I think it's below m n l. Oh, I forgot the abc. What the hell is wrong with me? Okay, we are here, so I think that l may be starting from above. So if we go above, we keep going. As you can see, a lot of commands are here, and maybe we will find cd too. So here we are in C option. Let's hope we find cd command. So I'm waiting for, I think we found that. Uh, there it is, cd command. Where did it go? I'm pretty sure I saw the cd command. Yeah, there it is. But it's a little bit different here. So yeah. So we have cat command, then we have capital cat. There are a lot of commands here that you can use that in Linux. So all these are commands. These are executables. I can execute them. Like I just need to type these commands in my terminal. And now we are here. Let's locate ls. It should be right here. And okay, and okay, maybe I forgot the ABC. Let's just go backward. Okay. Now by typing dot dot, we can go back to the slash, or you can do that cd slash. Now we are back in slash directory. Now we need to examine this directory. What does this do? Okay. Have you guys ever heard of boot files? If not, then the operating system start on a system, and it needs boot files, or what we call like load files, to start the operating system. Like the initial part of the operating system, it starts the kernel and then few other stuff. So these are the boot files, and the boot files for Linux to load are stored in the boot directory. So basically, in other words, in simple words, boot files are stored here. Next we have dev. Now all the devices drivers, all of it, all your disk drivers, all your mouse drivers, all your keyboard drivers are stored in dev. You can access them. Okay. Now next we have etc. Let's say you have to change a configuration of something. That configuration file will be in etc. You will go to etc, and then you will go access that specific file, and then you will change the following options that are required. So the etc stores configuration for all softwares you install, for all tools, for all devices, for all everything, for every configuration is stored in etc. Okay, if I say go change the configuration, you probably, there's a 99% chance you will be going into etc. Now home, this is where we live. This is where our user live. Okay, in Windows you might have seen user directory. The user has desktop, documents, and that. If I go into home, I will see my user. I'll see two users because I created one. So if I go to cd Kencypher, I am in my desktop and something like that. So yeah, I've done a lot of crazy stuff here. So back to the here. So home is where your user directories are stored. If I have more than one user, I will see other than Kencypher and go, and then so on. Now forget that. These are not like general in every Linux, so I'm not going to teach them. Now lib, all lib directories, all of lib are related to libraries. Like you install some tools, they will go into the lib. You install some basically you install some Python libraries, they will go into the lib. So the what we call it, the extra libraries or the dependencies that are required by software or tool or program, they go in there when installed. So basically lib is the general path for all tools to access all the libraries that they need. So loss plus found, we need to leave that. Now media, let's say you have another disk drive, you have another USB drive, you have something like that. So when you insert it, where does it go, where you can access it? You will have to go through media to access it. Let's say I have second hard drive in my computer, and I will go to the media, and then there you go, you have Kencypher. Then I will go into Ken data, and there it is, we are in my, how can I say this, my second hard drive. Okay, so the other hard drives or USBs or like that, they will go into the media, so you can access them. Now MNT is for mounting point. Basically it's used for network mounting. And so OPT stands for optional programs, basically the programs which are not installed by APT or other package manager, which you install by third party. Okay, let's say the third party softwares are installed in OPT. You will install, I will teach you to install some third party softwares and how you can install them. So these programs will go into the OPT. Now you have proc is for processes. Basically it keeps track of all the running processes. Then we have root. Sorry, I forgot to highlight. Then we have root. Then root stands for, root is basically the root user directory, root user. There are two user basically in Linux if you created one. One is one is root. Basically in Windows you might have seen administrator or admin. So basically root is administrator of Linux. Okay, root can do everything. Root has full control over Linux. So basically this is the root user directory. Run is like the ramp folder which keeps track of the running processes, only the running processes that are currently running. So spin. Now you might encounter some of the commands that may not run without use root or sudo permission or root permission basically. So these commands are stored in spin. They are all the commands that can only be executable by root. They can only be executable by admin. So basically these type of commands live here. Now you don't need to worry about snap. Let's go to the SRV. SRV stands for services, and you can study about it. It's I think it's a kind of a complex folder too. So then you have for sys for system binaries. These are for system binaries that are essential for system. TMP, if you want to save something, let's say, and you want to save it for a very short period of time. Let's say I want to save something and I want it to be gone or to be deleted or to be removed when I come back automatically. I'll just store that in temp because it will erase all the data when you restart that is stored here. So this is for TMP. Now we have USR. USR is basically for users directory. It's not home. The user directory is like desktop documents. This is for all user. Like if I install something for like for me, and it can be accessible by all users, it will go into the USR. The type of, let me give you an example, the word list type stuff here, and a lot of stuff is here in USR. You can study about it, to be honest. Var means variables. Now basically the var has those type of files which are changing dynamically, which are changing at every second. If you guessed it, logs are stored here. The logs or event, we say logs are stored here because logs keeps changing and changing with every click, with every command we run. So basically they keep changing, and those logs are stored in file, of course, because everything Linux is a file. So those logs are stored in var, and the files in var are currently changing. So basically variable suits us right, because variable means change. So basically it's var does the good job here. Now this is the general directory structure for basically like all of Linux. If you encounter some these type of files, you can research them on your own, because most of these files you may not find in other Linux basically. Okay, there is a little update because I think on the first video I said we're going to be studying on CentOS, but now we are going to be studying on Ubuntu server, because I think for beginners it's much easier and safe rather than going into the Red Hat. All the stuff will be same. most of the stuff. Then if we need to go make some advanced changes, we might go into the CentOS, but I think Ubuntu server can do all the job just fine. So yeah, that's it for today, and see you guys in the next lecture.